Hello, and welcome to the Full Sail University Final Project Postmortem of Project Matt. This game was created using the Unreal Development Kit and includes the work of 5 video game designers over the course of 4 months. Team Matt consists of myself, William Kammer, the team lead, who was in charge of aesthetics and the creation of Level 3, David Roy, who created our text and story, and also Level 1, Alejandro Bartley, who created our cinematics, beginning and ending movie scenes, and Level 4, Evan Barnes, our lead programmer and mechanics scripter, who created Level 5, and Aaron Mason, who worked with sound engineers and music production students to create our music and sound effects. When we set out initially to develop a game, we knew that we wanted to use a side-scrolling camera. This camera is very nostalgic to longtime gamers, and allows a lot of room for the player to see obstacles ahead and behind the character. Using this camera also allowed our team to restrict many of the controls, allowing our game to be played and enjoyed by a much wider audience.
Matt, or Modifiably Aged Time Traveler, is a classic-style, one-mechanic, side-scrolling adventure game. It's about a time tourist named Matt who becomes lost in time due to his inability to properly maintain his ship. Ivis, his personal AI, helps him navigate through the areas as he tries to collect enough time machine pieces to go home. The object of the game is to collect enough parts to progress through the different levels. There are multiple endings tied to how many parts you end up collecting. As you progress, Matt unlocks the ability to shift his ages into 3 versions of himself. Each age comes with its own properties and abilities. The normal adult Matt can jump higher than the others and is strong enough to push things and break walls. Child Matt is light enough to climb vines and small enough to navigate through tiny areas. The Elder Matt has a light step that prevents him from setting off traps, and it gives him damage immunity from spikes, but he can't jump at all. However, he can float from high areas using his wisdom. You have to use these abilities in combination to navigate the terrain and to solve puzzles in various levels. Each level has its own theme. There are temple ruins, a jungle, an abandoned factory, an abandoned city with an ominous volcano in the background, and a lava-filled cavern. Each level highlights a new ability for Matt to use. For example, the temple area, where you only have access to the normal Matt, is filled with multiple jumps. These jumps train the player to use the jump key. The second level introduces Child Matt and takes advantage of that by introducing small tunnels. Level 3 unlocks Elder Matt, and along with that, you get to use Child Matt's ability of being able to climb vines, and Elder Matt's ability to glide through the levels. Level 4 uses all of these skills together to present more complex puzzles. And finally, Level 5 rewards the player's skill with a more difficult path that requires you to master these skills and timing to finish the game. After you complete the 5 levels, you can then go back to the previous levels and try to collect more parts, or you have the option to try and leave and see how Matt's fate plays out. We designed the game to make innovative use of the different skills and to be a throwback to traditional platforming games. Each level was designed by a different member of our team, and the choice to do this was made to showcase not only unique visual design, but also to draw upon our individual knowledge to present unique levels.
One of the most challenging things I had to do for this project was to create the cinematics for the game. The cinematics in the game tells the story of Matt trying to get back home. Once the video is recorded and edited, they are then placed into Udake's Kismet. The tricky part was having the scenes that I created with Matt and Nay play as smooth as possible. There are also textures that needed to be used and created so the game will look and feel the best it can be. Putting the pieces of these cinematics together and the textures together were challenging, but I've learned new skills that will make me a better game designer.
The music and sounds within our game Matt are an interesting mix ranging from industrial and techno all the way to rock. We found creating the particular piece of music that would correctly set the tone and pace for the game to be an interesting and fun challenge. Implementing the right piece of music that would simultaneously spark curiosity within the player and generate a frantically paced game builds upon our storyline and our level design. Through our music, we wanted to convey the feeling of impending doom as well as giving each level its own identity. Working with outside resources, we created unique music bits that tailored to each specific level's needs. Although we were able to create one song per level, we failed in creating multiple songs per level, which would give us the ability to customize each section of each level, making the game have a more unique and gratifying experience. Overall, we feel the audio fits well with the game, and it properly conveys the overall tone that we were going for.
Looking back at our project, probably one of the biggest factors that determined whether our game would be a success or a failure was communication. Our team did a really good job of getting in touch early and staying in touch. If somebody was going to be on vacation or if they were just going to miss one meeting, they always let the whole team know what was going on and where they were. That way everyone knew they hadn't just forgotten or they weren't slacking off. And it was nice to know who was going to be at meetings and what we were going to be able to accomplish. Also, when we were designing stuff, everyone communicated well, and whether it was a puzzle in our game or just one specific mechanic, we kind of knew what the general purpose of that was going to be, and it helped to keep everyone on track. And if somebody had to stop something maybe halfway through, someone else could almost pick up where they left off and continue because everyone knew sort of the end goal and where we were headed with those things. One thing we didn't do communication-wise was we kind of failed on the written forms of communication. Specifically Unreal Script, we didn't comment very well at all, and probably wasted a lot of time just in confusion and being unorganized. If we could do it again, I'm sure we would have subclassed better and commented everything out. That way everyone would be able to take a look at a script and know exactly what it did. We could have commented our Kismet a lot better and kept it more organized. And also Perforce, when you submit something, it has a section to leave a comment, and we didn't use that very well. We could have put in there, just a little note about what we changed on whatever it was, and that way if we had to revert something at the last minute or whatever because something was causing an error, we would have been able to see what was changed in each version and which version we needed to revert back to. And on the design side, one thing that we didn't do very well was we originally started out for 5 levels, and we just gave everyone a level and let them do it on their own. And what we got were kind of 5 levels that were separate and disconnected. If we could do it again, I'm sure we would collaborate better and make sure the levels were more uniform and have their own unique features but still have a general feel of a game and not just 5 separate levels. So overall, we probably just learned how much work goes into making a game. We only had 5 levels and maybe 4 specific mechanics, but it took us 4 months and a team of 5 guys to do all that. So it was really important that we got started on task early in the week, way we weren't working on things at the last minute. And at the end of it all, we're just amazed at how much work really goes into making the games that we see on the market and that we play each and every day.
Thank you for watching our presentation, and have a good day.